Hello, hello, and welcome back to what will probably be the final episode of Assassin's Creed Mirage. Let's just get to it. No use wasting time. I did a little exploring just to get gear chests and stuff, and the gear really isn't good. It isn't worth it. There's nothing that's synergistic or feels good to use, right? Even the stuff that is, supposedly really the best in the game is kind of bleh. And it makes me wonder how I would feel about the game if I wasn't gifted the deluxe edition that came with, the sand sword and the dagger of time, because here's the thing, the reality is that the sand sword and the dagger of time fit so well into this game as to kind of trivialize combat. But here's the big but though, they're fun, they're interesting, right? Most stuff takes, I suppose if you're playing on a higher difficulty than normal, my approach towards games is you judge them based on normal. So if on normal they're too easy, they're an easy game. If they're hard on normal, then it's a hard game. And then you can adjust based on, what kind of experience you want. I think if I was going to play this game in the future, I'd probably set it to hard, because normal is way too easy. It's one hit kill for everything. You really shouldn't be in a situation where it takes more than one hit to kill something. That has sort of been my experience so far. And whenever that happened, that's when I took a lot of damage or died or whatever. So my whole point with this is I went and I got all these upgrade schematics, which is what, the gear chests are. And then I go to try and test out what I would want to upgrade. And I kind of wouldn't want to upgrade anything. It's all bad. It's all bad. So, honestly, if I didn't have the sand sword and dagger of time, I would probably replace them with the default Initiate of Element sword and the Initiate of Element dagger. Where is it? Right there. Because that is probably, the best option that you would have on normal. Now, if I'm not playing on normal, I might replace the daggers with Samsama and either the Rostam sword or the Hidden One sword. But for this game, honestly, a lot of the choice when it comes to for builds and whatnot has really come down to what outfit that I use. I go back and forth between these four. They're all really good. Well, actually, they're all good. I wish I'd seen more of this kind of design in the weapons themselves so that you could do cool things. If that's the road we're going down with Assassin's Creed, then let's really go down it. Let's commit. And they didn't want to commit, so it just feels kind of half-assed, the entire weapon mechanic. Really, I regret wasting so much time at the beginning of this playthrough, getting all that stuff, because it wasn't worth it. It absolutely wasn't worth it, and it just made this playthrough longer. So that's that kind of a knock against it. And it's weird coming off of stuff like Valhalla. Well, okay, Valhalla less so, but Odyssey actually did the build thing really well. I have a lot of criticisms for Odyssey, but insofar as building was concerned, making characters that played a certain way or did something super cool or had different synergies, Valhalla kind of knocked it out of the park. So I don't know what the deal is. Oh wow, that's quite a bit.
when these will come in handy.
Let's
Very good,
buy
sir.
that. Why not?
Useful for strengthening one's gear.
Huh. So that's where you get it. Cool.
Never leave. Nothing else.
I would like to leave.
I will be off then.
Farewell, sir.
I thought that might get me a achievement or something. Considering I don't know where else I would get half this shit. Boy. Now we'll stick with the talismans and all that stuff. Okay, so I'm pretty sure this is the end of the game. Yeah, let's just do it. Enough dawdling, enough pontificating.
Basim, are you well? Basim.
I do not know. You were right, Nihal. My enemy, Qabiha. She held the answers.
What did you learn?
That there is more to who I am. A truth Qabiha tried to tell me. A truth my master sought to silence. That truth lies at Alamut.
So we ride for Alamut.
All right, let's go. You will need to complete Basim's journey at Alamut before returning to Baghdad. Alrighty, let's go.
I alone.
You need me.
I need you safe.
I am safe with you, and you with me.
I may find nothing there but danger and death. This is my fate. I will not turn back from it, but neither will I have you face it.
Where you go, there I will go. Where you rest, there I will rest. I will walk behind you every step of the way. You are never alone. Now get packing. We will not leave Alamut until you have found the answers you seek.
يلا
Now that's a cool costume. Nice. Be cool if that were like Altair or someone. It's not though. He's a few hundred years from now. God, such a great visual.
Noor?
Not the welcome you were expecting, eh? Well, at least you had the fortune to be elsewhere when the Tahirids came for us.
What happened?
Fear Alamut has fallen. I was tasked with finding help. I went into the desert to find other patrols. Then I found you.
Were there others with me?
No, only you.
Then Nihal lives. And Roshan?
I had hoped she would be with you.
Come, brother. We must head out. Find any survivors and cleanse Alamut of its infestation.
Fear I cannot.
How bad? I will make every last one of them pay.
Vengeance is not our way, brother.
Our way? You sit bleeding to death and still cling to this foolish dogma. And for what? Our creed could not protect Alamut. And neither could I.
Nor I. But our beliefs are why you still draw breath. And are why you must save any of us who may yet live.
On that we can agree. You have my word.
Waffaqak Allah, Basim. There is nothing left to say, brother.
Why did I lose my pips?
Save who you can.
Why did I lose my pip? What? What? I can't change my what the? Son of a...
Steady. Steady, girl. All is well. All
I hope I can get more than 2 pips.
your master left you in my care. Our temple. Whatever lies beneath, I must see it for myself. No matter the cost. All
Okay.
this blood and death. Is this what Qabiha meant by preparing the way? Nihal, please be safe. Wherever you are.
I think I went to the wrong thing. Oh well. Oh well. Are there any dudes? Oh, there's plenty of dudes. Okay, I need to earn enough pips so that I can kill them all when I get there. I don't know what else to call them.
Some of my clan still live. Mentor Rayhan among them.
You know what? You know what? You know what? Just to make this easier on myself. There we go. Son of a bitch. Damn it. There we go. The fuck? There. I don't know why he saw me, but, you know, fuck it, right?
Time to meet the meat.
Excuse you, why? There we go. Oh my god. Okay, you know what? You know what? I would like to get into the menu, please. Thank you. Let's go to autosave. I can do that way better. I've done it way better. So, you know.
Some of my clan still live. Mentor Rayhan among them.
Why? There we go.
Your hour has come.
I'll dismember you slowly.
There, I didn't even need to switch outfits. Got my knives back. Oh, hi. There. I'm gonna go up around here and refresh everything. Yeah, I've come to the conclusion that the Rostam outfit is the best outfit by like a genuine, you know, metric, because
But I am impatient. Show yourselves.
because you like they just let you walk right up to them. All right, well, let's get you first. Actually, let's go. You, then you.
Basim! What? Basim, how? I thought you were in Baghdad. Where are the others? Roshan!
I came alone, for the same reason these men did. I know the truth, Mentor, about the temple and what it shelters. Our enemies told me as much. They urged me to seek it, because only I could.
You? Thus the Order used the Tahirids to decimate Alamut, because you are their key.
To what? What are you protecting that is worth all this bloodshed?
Ancient ground.
For generations, it has been our duty to watch over it. Defend it from the Order, who seek to exploit its secrets. The temple houses its entrance, but Basim, even though it is forbidden, I have searched. There is no means to access it.
Then I will find a way myself.
You must not. It is what the Order wants, don't you see? If what we protect should fall into the wrong hands...
It will fall into mine. Look around you, at what the Order is prepared to unleash upon us. If I can gain the knowledge they seek, it can be what finally gives us an edge in this endless war. This is the way forward. For the Hidden Ones.
What did he grab? He grabbed something. Get my throwing knife back. Anyone else? No? Okay.
Shukran, Basim. The temple. Let us finish this. Nothing and no one shall get in my way. Not now, not when I am this close. It will take more than you to stop me.
Okay, good. Is there any more?
More of them ahead. Suffice to say, I am on the right path.
Eradication area. Oh boy.
I know. Damn the Order. You saw what we fought through to get here. The men we've lost. You think we will gain anything once our masters acquire what they seek? You think we will be...
Nice. That was pretty cool.
What these intruders could not.
Okay, now what?
What magic is this? Wait.
I warned you what would happen. Last chance. Very well.
I am going to switch my weapons so that I can do some stuff. Let's see. Oh, no. Yeah, we'll go with that. And that.
So it has come to this. Killing each other. Is this your idea of a brotherhood?
The Brotherhood is unified. There is no place for those who would set themselves above it.
Is that what you think I am doing? Last chance.
You know what? I'll give her a fair fight. I will give her a fair fight. Both at half health.
I trusted you! I gave you everything I had, and you lied to me! You knew! Since the night...
Yeah. That's what happens when you give people a fair fight. Hey, wait a minute. Come here.
I trusted you! I gave you everything I had, and you lied to me!
Damn it.
You knew! Since the night we fled unbarred, you knew my truth.
I only feared what it could spell. But I set my
Okay, next one should be... There we go.
had to. You were better you.
Yield. Yield.
Basim. Leave her. Come.
I never wanted this. But I need to know.
I do not want to lose you. To what you may find in there. You do not have to look to the past to know who you are. Who you can be. You can choose, Basim. Put your faith in me.
I tried. And in the end, you thought it best to control me. No different than our enemies.
Basim. Over here.
An apprentice's fall is usually the master's failure.
The key.
Huh.
She will follow.
No, she cannot. You saw it yourself. More of those objects. I wonder what truths lie within. What stories they serve to tell. Whatever lies within carries grave importance. For the hidden
I can't sprint.
for the order of the ancients. For me, what have we walked into? Where has my path brought us?
You do not want to know why anyone was brought to this place.
Are my eyes deceiving me? Are you seeing this? Nihal?
I am here.
Wherever we are, it was built long ago. Nihal, look in here.
Okay.
I know this place. Nihal?
What is a man? A miserable pile of secrets. I like how the very first people from like hundreds, thousands of years ago also used the same iconography for like a grave. Oh, and it's the big twist. You know, even though I knew this was coming, because like I said, I played through this part before, when I first played through it, and I saw her kind of skulking on the top of the roof, I was sort of like, wait a minute, why doesn't Roshan see her? That was my first clue. Everything else was pretty good, pretty well put together. Like, if not for that one instance, this would have been a complete and total surprise.
Enough! Let me out of here!
How? What? What are you?
Look! See for yourself!
So if you haven't played Valhalla, one main sort of plot point in that is that these Isu who had like the same name as Norse gods, what they did is they sort of, it's hard to explain, but they basically sort of injected their DNA into humanity, and it was supposed to sort of coalesce into reincarnations of themselves. So like Eivor is kind of a reincarnation of Odin, right? And I forget which one Bossum is. I think it's Loki. Yeah, I think he's Loki.
The Jinni in my teams.
And in
They are one and the same.
Valhalla,
Is this what I have been seeing? The memories
Loki
of a
kind
life
of,
long ago.
I'm pretty sure he betrays everyone and puts his
Is that
DNA
why
into
Jinni
this
feels
whole
so
project without like them wanting him to.
The source of
It might be
death
another
feels
character.
me.
I forget. Might be another Norse
is
god,
so.
but I'm pretty sure he's
I
Loki.
must face you. No.
So I'm pretty sure the prisoner is Loki, or that Norse god. Well, they're not really gods. They're Isu, but they have Norse god names. Okay, where am I going now?
This space.
So like this only means anything if you played Valhalla to completion and like actually remember these key plot points. And the problem with Valhalla, I will definitely criticize it for that, is there's so much of it. It's like 80 hours or 100 and something hours, and then like 5 hours of plot. So like you can be forgiven for forgetting a lot of it. You know, that's why economic storytelling and an economic sort of like overall gameplay is really important. I think this does it pretty well, actually.
It was born of, or why it haunted me so. But I am beginning to remember. I am in a cold cell, begging for it all to stop.
So the way I understand the sequence is the Isu taking over.
Seek retribution. But if I am to move beyond this pain, then what I want is peace.
Okay, now where to?
It is time to put an end to this.
Can I sprint yet? No, it's not letting me sprint. Please? I would like to move through this faster.
My cell. I am nearly there. No going back. The Jinni. I can hear it. I know you now. I see you for what you are. A crippling memory from a past life. And that is where you will remain.
Are you sure about that?
It is over.
No, Basim. It is only the beginning. For us. For what lies ahead. A deeper understanding of the world we left behind. And our place in it.
All my life I wrestled with who I was. Who I was meant to be. And there you were. All this time. The side of me I resisted. A reflection of who we once were.
Of who we shall be once more. There is so much that awaits us. A new world. Let me show you.
Now,
I
Kit.
will never see you again, will I? Will I be alone?
You are never alone.
kudos to the voice actor, because that Basim, that how long has it been is definitely like a different person. There's more like, the word I would use is lethality to it.
It is done. You made your choice. Now, I make mine.
وداعاً روشان بنت الأحد. It was an honor. Come, Basim. We have much to discuss.
That we do, Mentor.
Yeah, he's a different person. Lethal intent, I guess, is the best way to describe it. Whereas at the beginning, he's sort of like, well, at least up until that point, he's like his own person, and he's just kind of wants to figure things out, and that kind of a thing. Yeah, he's not Basim anymore. Is that? I can't tell if it's the graphics or like a stylistic choice, but is his blood black?
Years. Darkness and dreams, masked as a jinni, to haunt me and hollow me until it consumed my waking life. But I have faced my past, my pain, embraced it. I shed my skin once, in another time, another place. But I am whole again. I remember. And as for those who thought to bind me, should any of them still walk the earth, I so look forward to our reunion.
And that's what happens in Valhalla.
Till that day, a new world awaits.
Okay, so I'll give a little review of this game, but before I get to that review, I want to talk very quickly. Well, not quickly. I want to talk about my dad, because before he passed away, this was like the last video game gift that he got for me. And he was born in 1925, and he joined the military when he was 17. And he was a machine gunner in the Battle of Okinawa during World War II. I was born when he was in his 60s, so it took him a long time to like finally settle down and have a family. He had a very interesting life, which would take too long to go over here. But mostly what I want to talk about is his relationship to me and his relationship to this game. So, my dad was older, and, from that generation that fought in World War II. So you would think that, he'd be very closed off. But, he made it very clear, and he said it to me. He said that he loved me. And, I think he also made an effort to understand me, to understand the things that I liked. And, one time I was living, a few 100 miles away, and I got diagnosed with a disease, which I don't want to go into, but basically I had to have surgery for. And it was very painful. It was a very painful surgery. And they had me on a whole bunch of painkillers. And so 2 months of my memory around that time are just like completely gone. I wouldn't have been able to survive. I didn't have any friends nearby. No one was going to take care of me. And my dad drove up, I think it was like 120 miles, and he took care of me for like 2 or 3 months. He got my groceries, he fixed me, dinner, and, he really, really took care of me. And at the time, Assassin's Creed 3 had just come out. And so I was sort of laying on the couch, recovering from this surgery, taking a whole bunch of painkillers and playing Assassin's Creed 3. And he was just sort of sitting there. I think he was like in his 80s at the time. He never played video games, never, had any interest in them whatsoever. But he knew that I liked this game in particular. And so I think that's why he got me Assassin's Creed Mirage. It was back to a time when he was taking care of me. And, when he bought this, he was slowly dying, it began with a fall, basically. Like, he fell down in the bathtub, and it was 2020, and he didn't want to go to the hospital because he was afraid of getting COVID. So his wound kind of festered and got worse. And I don't think the wound itself festered and got worse, but it never like fully healed. So he never got his full mobility back. And because he never got his full mobility back, he never moved, or he stopped moving around. He started to like waste away. He couldn't stand up. And then he got pneumonia. And, I would say he was miserable from like 2021 to 2023. And at one point, the pneumonia got so bad that he kind of keeled over and passed out. And it was a nightmare, getting to the hospital and everything. And like, we go to the hospital, they say he has pneumonia, he was just having trouble breathing, basically. His oxygen levels were way too low. So they gave him like one of those oxygen machines, but it kept turning off every like 15 minutes. So like for the entire night, I was like trying to make sure the thing stayed on to make sure that he, that he could breathe. And, and me and my mother took care of him as best we could. And, I think it just shows that, at one point he was taking care of me. And then towards the end, when this game came out and was a thing, or not when it was a thing, it hadn't come out yet. It was like ready for pre-order. And I think he got it for me because of that time where I was taking care of him, and now, or no, he was taking care of me, and now I was taking care of him. It was, kind of so like nobody more than me wanted to play this game, and nobody more than me wanted it to be good. And, after he passed away, I was a mess. This was a year and some change ago. He passed away in April 3rd, 2023. And so, realizing this would be the last thing that I ever got from him, the first couple playthroughs, I was basically like inconsolable. through it, because I had a great dad. You know, he was a great guy. Like I said, told me that he loved me. I mean, like, he was very honest with me. If I was fucking up, if I was saying something wrong or doing something wrong, he would let me know in no uncertain terms. But generally, you know, he was a great dad, great person. You know, I see a lot of men who are lost because they didn't have a positive male role model in their life. And for me, I did. And, you know, the only regret that I feel, the only, you know, sort of problem that I have with the whole thing is that I'm not living up to his example, like, at all. But at least I have that example to kind of like understand and move towards. A lot of people don't have that, and I can't imagine how lost I would be right now without him being there in my life for so long. He was, you know, my parents never divorced. They were together, death till you part. My dad, you know, he taught me what it meant to be a man. He taught me what it meant to love someone. He taught me what it meant to be a parent, what you have to do, you know, and, you know, I'm going to miss him. And, you know, this whole, so, you know, I'm going to miss him so much that, you know, every time I tried to play this when it first came out, I couldn't, you know, I would just start thinking about that and start bawling. And I'm so happy that I'm able to talk about this without, you know, having to do it through tears, because that would have been embarrassing. But, yeah, so I guess, I just want to say, wherever you are, thank you, Dad, so much for everything that you gave me. And when it comes to this game, nobody wanted it to be good more than I did. In fact, maybe the fact that I wanted it to be great is probably why I was more disappointed than normal. I would say that I would give it a solid 7, maybe 6.5 out of 10. I think the main issue that I had with it is that its systems are overall sloppily put together, right? Like the thing that Assassin's Creed has needed for years is refinement, not like these new systems that are supposed to somehow layer in over old, unrefined systems. And that was the problem leading into Unity. And if it weren't for how poorly Unity was received, we wouldn't have gotten the RPG trilogy. And when it comes to the RPG trilogy, those are completely, you know, separate games. The best one is Origins, like 100%. It's the only one that feels like an Assassin's Creed game. The second best, in my opinion, and this isn't a popular opinion, is Valhalla, because it does have like sort of an AC4 kind of story to it, where the character that you're playing as isn't an assassin, but he's sort of embroiled in the world, and it kind of like introduces it to you a little bit. And my least favorite is Odyssey. It wasn't an Assassin's Creed game. It was a good game on its own, but it wasn't. All the identity of Assassin's Creed was gone. And after doing that for almost 10 years, like, I'm pretty sure Origins came out in 2017. So almost 10 years. They go back to the old formula, which in my opinion is better, right? Like, I think Origins is more polished, so I would choose Origins over this. But if it was between this and Valhalla or this and Odyssey, I'd choose this all day. Because I like the context and construction of a traditional Assassin's Creed game, right? Like, I like Unity a lot. It has some issues for sure, but like Unity and Syndicate were like the last Assassin's Creed games. And, you know, in those 10 years, Ubisoft has lost a lot of talent, and it really shows. Like, this feels like a junior group trying to figure out what the senior group did without input from the senior group, or at best having like one or two people from the senior group in with these whole bunch of juniors trying to recreate what needed a group of other people to make. And so I feel like the recipe or the formula for what makes Assassin's Creed work has kind of, disappeared or just doesn't exist anymore. And that really shows, like, the systems are really sloppy. You like that whole thing, if you go to earlier in the playthrough, that whole sequence where I climbed up and I was on top of this like ledge, and I should have been able to assassinate the guy, but it wouldn't let me. And then he noticed me and it went to an alert. It's just, and then like a few moments later, I was like 5 miles away from an enemy and it let me assassinate him. I was just sort of like, it's so inconsistent that it feels sloppy. There were so many bugs. I don't know if I caught it on in footage, but I saw an animation of a character climbing a ladder, right? But they didn't go into a climbing animation. They just kind of hovered above it, like all these little nicks and cuts of things that just didn't work consistently or looked weird, or there was a bug or something, were so enormous and so frequent that it really kind of undercut the entire experience. And then the story itself is sort of like the beginning of it is really compelling. The end of it is really compelling. Everything in between, because they want you to be able to, tackle these assassinations in any order that you want, there's no like narrative thrust. There's no like, I wasn't even sure why I was there or what I was doing it for, or like all the context has to evaporate if you want the player to be able to tackle these in any order that they wish, aside from the last one. It was kind of hard to really care about what was going on or why it was happening until the very end. Let's see. Okay, so we've got the story. Like those are the main things. The combat just felt awful. The combat was just like, there was no oomph to it. And like, here's the thing with Assassin's Creed combat, and this is why I feel like developers need to be very careful about who they take advice from. I'm just giving my opinion on this entire thing. Maybe that opinion holds no value. Well, almost certainly that opinion holds no value. But you really need to consider what's being said and why it's being said. So like, Assassin's Creed 1 had really boring combat because you were just sort of standing there and parrying and then, killing the enemy or whatever. And then Assassin's Creed 2 was kind of the same. Assassin's Creed Brotherhood made it so that after you do that first parry, you can like chain kills. So it made the combat move a little quicker. And then I don't remember I'm pretty sure they did something for Revelations, but I don't remember. I have not played that game since 2010. I think it was 2010 or 2011. And then Assassin's Creed 3 was as good as the combat got because it kind of like married a lot of the original concepts with like almost kind of an Arkham Asylum kind of play style. You'd have all these different types of characters who would, do different things. Like you'd have to respond to threats differently. So like if in Assassin's Creed 3, if some guy was about to shoot you, you'd have to like grab another guy and use him as a shield. And then you'd have these big guys in kilts who would come, and you'd have to, if you try to attack them regularly, they just grab your fist and like headbutt you. And so the whole combat became more interesting because you had these different enemies that forced you to respond to them differently. But after that, you had AC4, which took AC3's combat and did it more sloppily, which is really unfortunate, you know? And honestly, like when it comes to combat, AC4 is to AC3 as Assassin's Creed Mirage is to Assassin's Creed Origins. Like, it's a sloppier version of something that had been done way better before. And after like Assassin's Creed 3 and Assassin's Creed 4, the general audience was talking about, man, you know, Assassin's Creed doesn't have interesting combat. Assassin's Creed, the combat's too easy. And their solution in Unity, and I think a little bit in, well, they pulled back in Syndicate, but their solution in Unity was to have sort of a fencing thing that you did that had like a hitbox to it and everything. And that combat sort of laid the groundwork for everything that has come since, and it was really boring, and it was bad, and it was terribly realized. And they keep going back to it. And so I hate this combat. There's no impact to it. It's not interesting. They try to introduce like different, you know, levels of characters. Like in this game, they had guys who breathe fire on you. But your solution to the guys who breathe fire is the exact same solution that you have against like the guys that don't. So like, it's so uninteresting. Whereas in Assassin's Creed 3, which has the best combat in the series, I will die on this hill, has you like thinking and reacting. And yeah, it's easy. It gets pretty easy. I feel like the solution to that was to refine it and maybe, you know, add different types of enemies, different things that you have to do to take care of those enemies. Like, there was more to be done there. And instead of Assassin's Creed doing that, Arkham Knight did that. So, anyway, the whole point of going through that entire history of Assassin's Creed's combat is that of all of the Assassin's Creed games that I've ever played, this is the worst. Not because it's boring. It is boring. It's not as boring as Assassin's Creed 1. It's close though. But because it feels sloppy. It feels like a beta of combat. Like they needed more animation and sound effects, and they needed, you know, to figure out a way to make it more interesting than it is. But they didn't do that. So like the combat is like the worst part of this entire experience. And that's why I favored stealth. It wasn't because it wasn't because enemies were hard. In fact, they were pretty easy most of the time. It's just that stealth had more oomph to it. Stealth felt really good, you know? So, yeah, the stealth was good. The parkour was pretty good. Not as good as I would have hoped. My personal favorite for parkour is Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. But, you know, what are you going to do? But yeah, so if they had fixed the combat, if they had made the story more interesting, and maybe, like, the other thing that I really noticed is that the visuals feel like a downgrade just in general. Like, I don't know what it is. I think, like, Unity, why is Unity, a game that came out almost 10 years ago, the best looking Assassin's Creed game to this day? I don't get it. But even going back to like Valhalla, which, you know, isn't the best looking game, even that game looks better than this. Like there's this sequence in Valhalla where Basim and Ivor are talking around a fire, And nothing in this game looks as good as that scene. This whole thing just feels sloppily and hastily put together. And if it had like another year in the oven, it might have been maybe an 8 or even a 9 out of 10. But Ubisoft really doesn't seem to care about the quality of its series anymore. And it sucks. It sucks. So yeah, I mean, solid 7 out of 10. There is no one who wanted it to be good more than me. So yeah. That's my review and my tribute to my dad. I'm gonna let the credits roll for another hour or so. And yeah, so thank you for joining me. I'm not sure what I'm going to play next. I have a whole bunch of games, you know, stuff that was gifted to me that I want to play through. And like the cool thing about this entire, you know, channel, even though no one watches it, is that it lets me, gives me motivation, or it gives me an excuse to play through these games that I own that I can never find time for because I'm always working or, you know, doing something ostensibly important. But yeah, anyway, thank you guys for joining me. I really appreciate it. And I'll see you all next time.